get birth by the karma. There's a siddhanta called karma siddhanta. It's an equation. Because of our punya karma and papa karma, we get different bodies. Durlabho mancho dehaha. To get human body, it's not easy thing. We might have done a good karma in the past life. That's why we got this a human body. Humans have given a great, qualities. That's why human being is called Manava. There are many creatures in this universe which cannot use manas. Only human being has the manas. He has a consciousness. God given us choices to make right thing or wrong thing. Animals or other creatures doesn't have. They blindly follow their routine. They hunt for food, search for food, eat, and then die one day. But only human being is eligible to do the karma. No creature has duties like human being. Being to get human body, to be birthed as a human being is a great thing. If anyhow somebody was born, he was given duties according to his varna. There are Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and other varnas. One duty is given by the varnashrama dharma. Brahmana has certain duties like doing Sandhya Vandanam or praying the nature gods like Indra, Varuna, Vayu, and Kshatriya is given different dharma. But in this Kali Yuga, the varnashrama system slowly dissolved. We have only now common dharmas for everyone, doing the right things, helping other human beings, and empathic for other creatures. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha, in one of our great quotes in Indian system. Ahimsa is the primary thing for us. Ahimsa not only physically and mentally, if hurting someone, mentally is also not, it's considered as a himsa. Human beings should not do, there are few things that one cannot do is the himsa. So human being must be ahimsa person, empathetic to the others. And there are other dharmas a human being should follow, being a human being as a manava. For human beings, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, there are 4 things. Dharma is to perform right things, and artha is to acquire. In this life we need to survive, so we accumulate money, food, everything. And kama, the desire. In the Indian system, kama is not a bad thing. Kama is also, if you do everything with dharma is a good. If you leave dharma and only acquiring kama, artha, eventually you go to call naraka. And the 4th thing is moksha, the liberation. There are 2 ways to get liberation. In the Indian philosophical system, there is a one called Jivan Mukti, like a Bhagavad Gita, Ashtavakra Gita talks about the Jivan Mukti. While living, you have to be liberated. The only way that you get liberated is from the wisdom, not from doing ceremonies and all. That will help you to get wisdom and liberated. But the ceremonies are not the primary thing in the Indian system. That is the first step to elevate ourselves to get liberated. There's one thing, Jivan Mukti, that for that we need to have a clear mind, and one must have enthusiasm to learn about our self-knowledge. And if not, there are some people born with some abilities. They can get any very easily, even psychological knowledges and some skills. By birth they'll get. But there are people, mass doesn't understand the philosophy. For them, there is a one deva karma that you pray your own deity, that the deity will give you the moksha. And there is karma marga. Every human being must perform 5 yajnas. It's called Pancha Maha Yajna. Deva Yajna. The one is to show gratitude towards the sun fire, water. Because of these elements, we are alive. If they are not, we are not even existed without them. So we have to show our gratitude towards the Pancha Bhutas and Pancha Devatas. Deva Yajna and Manushya Yajna, Pitru Yajna. Manushya, you have to empathize towards someone. If somebody is in some sorrow or they're poor, help them. And Pitru Yajna, for ancestors, we have to do something like a Shraddha Karma and all. And one more thing is Rushi Yajna. We have given so many scriptures by our sages. We should be gratitude towards them. How you gratify, how do you show that? Just by reading the scriptures, they'll be happy. If you read the scripture like a Gita or any Upanishads, you're showing your gratitude towards your sages, your Indian lineage. And Bhuta Yajna, not only human beings, there are several human creatures living with us. So we have to show our gratitude, or we have to help them be empathic towards the other bhutas. These are called Pancha Mahayajna. The first Pitru Yajna is given only to the sun. Sun has to perform for his ancestors to liberation. One thing from elevate yourself, read scriptures, gain wisdom, you liberate yourself while living. Another way is you die, your son will do karma to elevate you to the moksha. This is second way. That one every son must do to their kids. First year of ceremony, the Jivatma travels to the various world. It's called Glau, Vidyut, Varuna, Indra, Dhatru, Mahita, Simanta, Sindhva, Prutha. He has to cross through many celestials. Glauhu, Indra, Varuna Loka, Vayu Loka, Go Loka, he has to cross all. While his travel, 12 months first year, we do every month. It's called Masa Shraddham. Every month we have to perform a Shraddham. Because of they live in other dimensions, human beings one day considered their 1 month. If you perform every month, that means you are giving them every day. Once they cross the Viraja Nadi, they'll be in the Pitru Loka. Our 1 day is considered as their year. If you perform every year, that means you are giving your ancestors every day your gratitude. Shraddha Karma. Shraddhaya karoti iti shraddha. It's named because Shraddha because of your Shraddha. It cannot be done mechanically. It should be done with devotion and respectfully. Most of the times, mokshamiche janardhanat. Mahavishnu was the one who can give the moksha. There are several deities who give specific things. Dhanamiche dhutashanat. If you want money, you perform yajnas. You pray the fire god to get more money or lands or anything. Jnanamichet Ishvara. Ishvara Jnanamichet. Arogyam Bhaskaradicchet. If you want good health, you have to do is wake up early in the morning, go in front of the sun, do Surya Namaskar. Surya gives the good health. If you want good wisdom, Lord Shiva gives the wisdom. That's why we do Abhishek. Why we do Abhishek? We are doing ourselves. Soham, Hamsas, Soham. Shiva is none other than ourselves. We are not separate, not different from the Shiva. that there is only one thing. Avidya is covered ourselves. Ajnana is covered. Doing Abhishekam Shiva to cleanse ourselves. The Ajnana, we have to clean our Ajnana to become a Shiva. So, when you removed your Ajnana, then Vishnu comes. Mokshamiche Janardanat. For if you want ultimate liberation, a moksham that Mahavishnu gives. That's why when somebody is dying, they chant Narayana mantram in his ear, even before he was dying, since he hadn't done anything japa in his life or anything. Even at the last moment, if he listens Vishnu mantra, Narayana mantra, that itself is enough to get liberated and get moksham. That is one thing, but main thing is to liberate ourselves is while living. I know your kids are doing, they did very good job. They did with the devotion, and in the future, we do not know who will do and how they will do. So we have to do Shraddham for ourselves. It sounds strange, but doing ourselves is gaining knowledge. Liberate ourselves while living here. If you die, if nobody does Shraddham to you, then nothing matters. You are already liberated soul. Kaltama loves me a lot. She insisted me to perform this event today. She asked me to cancel any events that I have today and then come here. I'm so thankful that the love you show towards me, and also Surinder ji also very much affectionate towards me. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming. On behalf of the Mittal family, I just want to say it means a lot for us to all be here to celebrate the beautiful life of my grandfather, Surinder Mittal. To many of you, he was Surinder. To others, he was a husband, he was a father, he was a brother, a friend, a tennis player. He was a mentor. He must have touched your life in some way. To me, he was my grandfather, Dada. Before we begin, I just want to say how much it means to look at this room and see all the people who loved him, all the lives that were connected to his, and everybody that's just here to support our family during this hard time. Today is obviously incredibly difficult, but it can be more than about that we lost him. It can be about remembering who he was. It can be remembering what he gave us and how we can take little pieces he's taught us and carry them forward. There are 7 of us who are going to speak today. Each of us knew him in a different way, which I think is very fitting because no single person could tell the entire story of Dada. My father, Surinder's eldest son, Bharat, will end this afternoon to discuss what Dada meant for him, but I'll start with mine. The morning I found out he passed away, my mama kind of came into the room and kind of, was tearing up and said we have to go see him. I kind of knew what was going on. I was in a lot of shock that morning. As we went on with this process, as the days continue, we see how much this loss really means to us and what he really meant to us. He was so many different things. He was selfless, he was kind, he was thoughtful, he even gave me his curly hair, and he really didn't have a bad bone in his body. I know personally I can say something that we can better on. We can work on something. Dada was not like that. I looked at him as perfection. He always had the best intention, and he always cared about everybody with the most respect he could. He raised two amazing sons, which you can see what he put in them. My papa, who I mentioned earlier, and my uncle, Mittal. I see Dada in both of them. You can see the great qualities I mentioned earlier, and they're just, if they live up to be half of what he was, they will be amazing people. In my opinion, Dada showed me what the point of life was. He showed me that it was about relationships. Everything can be replicated at some point. Academics, sports, work, travel, but every relationship with another human being is unique. There will never be another relationship like mine and Dada's. There will never be a relationship like mine and my papa. They're all priceless. For me, during this time when Dada was sick, I had a lot going on. I had school, academics, a lot of basketball. I traveled a lot. I was trying to figure out where I'm going to college. There were definitely times I could have paused, and I could have, I should have paused more. Now, I think we all would agree that we would love to, have one more phone call, not because he would be calling to tell him about himself, but because he would be asking about us. One more story from him would be awesome. I know about a week or two ago, he was sitting down with all of us and telling us some of the greatest stories I've heard, and we were all cracking up. He was super funny, and he knew how to make all of us smile. Even though Dada lived a very long life, it always feels too early. It's crazy that we're doing this when 5 days ago we were sitting with him and holding hands, telling him how much I love him. A week ago, like I said, we were all sitting together, telling stories and laughing together. And a year ago we were playing tennis, and we were laughing about that. It's hard to understand how somebody so present, so involved, can be gone so quickly. And it's definitely left a gap that's going to be hard to fill. But as the years go on, I know he'll guide me through it, like he's guided me through a lot of my life. And I'll end with this: is that I used to be very afraid of the dark. I used to think that there would be somebody there that I couldn't see. Now I search for the dark because there's a chance that person will be dead. I go in the room and maybe he'll be there. Dada with my star, and I love it more than anybody can know. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Nidhi Goyal. He's my husband, Samit Goyal. I'm Kanta Mittalji is my buaji, my eldest buaji, and so Surinder Mittalji were my eldest fufaji. Kanta buaji actually has a very big family. My dad is her brother, and we have a big family, but Surinder Fufaji was the eldest of them. Eldest, but I would say the most charming personality, the most fun personality I could even think of, full of life. When I was in India and they would visit from here, I remember from my very childhood memories that all of the cousins would want to gather around him, sit around him, because we knew that he wanted to know as kids what was going on with us. So he would listen to us, and we were looking forward to some of the fun lifetime experiences that he would share. Even with kids, he would make stories. He would tell stories about here, the way he lives, the way he plays sports and everything. I'll be like, oh, he's in it, because we were kids, and oh, he's an adult and he still plays like tennis, like, we do these things here. So it was like his long talks were something that would make us feel connected, even when he would visit from here for very short periods of time. When I moved to US, as everybody goes through, times were definitely harder to begin with, and I found Fufaji as a mentor who had a very good listening ear, and he would always show me the positive side, the optimistic side of like that tunnel that I was going through, and sharing his own stories. So everything that he would share was always so motivational that it was always very nice and fun to just speak to him. And like Gavin said, I also feel that I wish I had picked up the phone a little bit more. I had maybe visited them a little bit more and had a chance to, just sit down and listen to him a little bit more. Fufaji he loved tea. He loved to make tea and serve tea. And I think all of us, Andrea, Lisa, we all can connect to it. When he would offer, we would want to take that back bench and just sit and be like, make the tea, and we'll sit and we'll converse. One thing that I felt with him was struggles, challenges, those were just little pieces of a big puzzle that he was always solving. He always kept his head up. He always continued to just, work those pieces. He would always say one thing at a time, one piece at a time. And I think that's the key that we all kind of have found in our lives and kind of evolved from it.
I'm not a good speaker, and I'm a very emotional guy. When we both got married in 2004, Fufaji and Buaji called us right away. I'm not going to go into detail, but there's three things I remember. In 2013, when he calls me up and Buaji and Fufaji were just talking, and we just came from Vegas. And he's like, oh, I have never been to Vegas. I have been busy with my whole life, working, taking care of the kids, doing everything. I'm like, what, Nidhi? We're booking a ticket. We're going to Vegas. That was the first time. I have never gone with my own parents alone anywhere. It's always with siblings or something. But the way we have connected with Buaji and Fufaji, I just booked a ticket. We three of us went to the Vegas together. We had a 3 days fun, did a magic shows, did did foods, everything together. I think that was the best time ever I had. I had my own father side, Fufaji and Buaji, but the relationship I have with Fufaji, I don't think so I had any relationship with my own Fufaji on my father's side. The another things I remember in 2016, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know, if you are a Texans fan, I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. So both of our teams were doing good. Since he's a sports fan, I would say we were talking almost every week, twice a week or something. Hey, my team's doing good. Hey, no, my team's doing good. And when we got to the playoff, the championship games, we both were just talking to each other. And Houston lost. He was kind of sad. Oh no, my team won. We're gonna get the Super Bowl. And everyone knows what happens. And I'm not gonna go in detail. And since then, I have not watched much football after that one anyway. And one more thing I noticed about Fufaji, I don't know how many of you been to the house or not. He used to have a green mirchi. No matter in the morning, afternoon, or evening, with the food, he will just grab a green mirchi and start eating it. I was like, what is this? He's like, I just love it. That's how I want to live my life. I'm so sad, I couldn't meet him in some of the last months or something. We couldn't talk, but whenever we talk, the only thing we spoke about the sports. That's it. You can talk about any sports to him, football, basketball, baseball, tennis, nothing. Well, he will just keep going on and on and on and on. Then Buaji used to have to grab a phone. Hey, cut the talk. It's been already been 1 hour or something. I just wanted to say one thing. Buaji, you are my favorite. But he was just little notch above.
Whenever I'll call Buaji, I'll talk to Fufaji only for a second and ask him, Fufaji, how are you doing? He'll say, oh putr, bas beja beja kitni pai hai. It means, I'm great, all is great. Fufaji, you were great, you are great, and you will always remember to be the great personality. My family is very proud of him. He has made us all very proud. Thank you.
Thanks.
If couple uncle could talk next, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Kapil Mehta, and we heard earlier speakers about their personal experiences with Surinder. And, we totally agree that he was a very kind and a very joyful person. He always shared the positivity wherever he goes. So we are here today to celebrate and remember his life, and he was a cherished friend, a loving husband, a very caring grandfather and father, and above all, he was an outstanding human being. I have known Surinder for almost half century, about 50 years, when he was doing his master's program in Chandigarh, and I was also there at the same time. He was in microbiology, I did my biochemistry. He was a 1 year senior from me, and though we were in the same building, he was 1 floor up and we were on the 2nd floor. That time I didn't really had an opportunity to interact with him, because he was senior. So you always know in India, you give that respect and keep that gap with your seniors. But I remember him very and distinctly, that the guy who is always smiling, he always had a big smile on his face. And I'm surprised that he looks so serious here. So that's kind of surprising to me. But I can say that he was a person of immense kindness, unwavering loyalty, and the source of constant support. Today, as we reflect on his life and the impact he leaves behind, let's find a solace and inspiration in the timeless message from the scripture Gita. And our Acharya ji, he elaborated, how our beliefs about the soul and our duties as a human beings, and how precious life as a human is. So, as he mentioned that, as humans, we have the obligation to perform our duties, or so-called karmas, but without expectations for fruits or results. And it won't be wrong if I say that Surinder embodied this teaching with grace and humility. He always gave his best for everything he did. whether it was with the family or with friends, without expecting any appreciation or reward. So that's a very kind of correct message which he followed from Gita. And also he's understood that life is a beautiful but a temporary gift from God, and one must live every moment of life, happily and enjoy that moment because it's not going to come back. He spent each day with the gratitude and joy with a smile, be at work or with the families or friend. Understanding that life is a fragile and every moment was a precious gift to be cherished. Once again, as we remember Surinder, let us take a comfort in the words once again from Gita that soul is eternal and never dies, but recycles through different bodies, as Acharya ji mentioned. Just like changing the old clothes when we changed into new clothes. Body actually is a matter, and matter means we accumulate all this body from nature. Every single atom we have in our body has been contributed by the nature, the food we eat, whereas soul is immortal and is energy. Anything which is made of matter always ages and eventually it destroys. But energy can never be destroyed. You can convert one form of energy into another form, just like a car is a matter, but the energy we use to drive that car is like a petrol. So petrol, without petrol, a good car won't run, but if you use the same petrol in an old car, that car will run. So energy is just like, Atma is just like energy. So, it can really come into different forms and shapes depending on the karmas we perform. Although now Surinder will be no longer with us with his physical body, but his presence will always be felt in the memories we shared, the lessons we learned, and the love we carry forward. Surinder, we are here not with tears of sorrow, but with hearts full of gratitude for the times, laughter, and memories we shared. The love and care that you showered will forever bind us together. May God bless your soul with Sadgati. I'd like to end this with a chant from Rig Veda, which is an invocation for the liberation from the cycles of life and death, and to bring peace, protection, and spiritual upliftment of the departed soul. So if you can join me, that would be nice. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshiyamamrita. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Sushil to talk next.
Sushil is actually the one who was in the same class as Surinder. So I've asked him to throw some light during those days.
Good afternoon, everybody. And as everybody said, it's a time to celebrate. Surinder is a great friend. He was a great friend, and he will be a great friend. He will always be in our heart. He was very special. And Kanta, Bharat, Amit, I don't remember meeting with Bharat and Amit and I met Kanta, and Kanta, Surinder came to my place in Shreveport. We have been great friends. I know you are blessed with him, and he is certainly blessed to have you all. I feel I was very blessed. I know him for the last 60 years. I think you were not born, most of you. 60 years. We studied in the same class during BSc at the Punjab University in Chandigarh, India. I'm not old. He is not old. He is young. We had a wonderful time. You can believe when you are a classmate at that age, you do so many things. You play together, you eat together, you have several friends together, you grew up together. And it is special to have first thing, to have friends like him. It's special to stay friends for 60 years. Can you believe? And every time my children will meet and see my friends who are we are friends together for so many years. And my children, my daughter and son will say, Dad, I want friends like your friends. 60 years. It's a blessing. And I'm blessed that I'm here to celebrate his life here. I'm blessed in many ways, and this is one of the blessings. And 60 years, and of course, after coming into USA, I met him first time at couple's house. We were together, and then we met several times. And he came to Shreveport, as I said to her, and we used to play tennis together. I am playing tennis just like Surinder, even at this age. It's a passion. And we will talk about tennis. And one time I called him, Surinder, I'm going to come to watch year-end tennis tournament held in Houston, ATP final tournament. And he said, yeah, come on, we will go and see. So my son came with me. He was at UT Austin, and we stayed at their house. And he said, yeah. I could call him anytime for anything. And he's, well, come on. He was very special. Kanta is very special, taking care of us. And I want to thank you, Surinder, for all many years of love and friendship. You have made me a better person, and thank you, everybody.
I'd like to invite a member of Dada's tennis team to speak.
नमस्ते एवरीबॉडी। मेरा नाम प्रवीण टायल है। मैं लोकल कम्युनिटी में रहता हूँ वुडलैंड्स में। एंड मेरी मेमोरी मित्तल साहब की, मैं अभी तक उनको सुरेंद्र नहीं बोल सकता। मैं टेनिस कोर्ट पे उनको मित्तल साहब बोलता था, उनके घर पे मित्तल साहब बोलता था। अभी भी मित्तल साहब ही कह सकता हूँ मैं, क्योंकि वो मेरे बड़े भाई थे और बड़े भाई को कभी मैं पहले नाम से बुला नहीं सकता। So I just want to say I'm so pleased to be celebrating Mittal Saab's day of calling to heaven. So I met him first time, if I remember, on the tennis court. And there are several members of the tennis team who play Sunday morning who are here with us. But the most important thing we used to do is he and his sons, especially Sonny, would play me and my kids. So we used to have father-son matches, which we enjoyed very much, because if we needed a point, we would give the ball to Surinder ji. Because if we give it to Sonny, the ball will never come back to us, you know. So he raised two beautiful kids, Sonny and Bharat. And not only did he talk about both of them all the time, he was so proud of them. He probably didn't express it all the time to them, but on the tennis court or in social setting, he will basically say, you know, these two boys, they could do anything. They could play basketball. They could play tennis. And I said, let's play, you know. So unfortunately, sometimes he lost, but, you know, I'm hoping that he will win all his matches in heaven, because I think we trained him well right here on the earth. So, you know, I don't know how many of you know, but Kantaji complains that she was his third love. The first love was tennis. You probably all can guess. The second love was his kids and grandkids. Aman, you were his favorite. You know that, right? So, you know, I'm so glad that I was part of his first love. Kantaji, you can't say that. So, I also want to say that I think Pratap is here. Pratap and I were, you know, judged for his witty jokes on the tennis court. He was a man of few words, but whenever he would speak, he would say very wise comments. Oh baby. Are mundar. And I would actually miss his mature words of wisdom coming from an elder brother. So on behalf of tennis group and on behalf of all my friends here who played tennis with him, I think we heard from his wife's niece, we heard from his grandkid that he was in love with tennis, he was in love with sports. I think from all of us, we hope he will go and win all his matches up there, and we will be watching you, but we will miss you here. Hari Om.
Would anybody else from the tennis team like to say a few words?
सबको सुरेश का प्रणाम। आप लोगों की तरह मैं सुरिंदर से बहुत ज़्यादा परिचित तो नहीं था। माफ़ करें वो लोग, those who only understand English, because whatever I'm going to talk, it will be in Hindi. So जैसा प्रवीण ने कहा, सुरिंदर का थर्ड लव, उसकी इच्छा थी कांता जी की तो मैं जो है सुरिंदर के बारे में कुछ कह सकूं। बहुत थोड़े समय में जो मैंने उसको जाना तो उसके लिए मैंने कुछ थोड़ी लाइनें लिखी हैं, शायद आप लोग उससे सहमत हों। एक और मित्र इस जहां से हो गया विदा, एक और मित्र इस जहां से हो गया विदा, वो जो बाहें फैला हर एक को स्नेह में बांध लेता, वो जो बाहें फैला हर एक को स्नेह में बांध लेता, इसीलिए वो कहलाया देवता का इंद्र सुरिंदर। उसका नाम था सुरिंदर, दैट मीन्स देवताओं का इंद्र। खामोशी में मित्रता का इजहार हमेशा करता रहा, जिससे मिलता बड़े प्रेम से और मित्र भाव से वो मिलता था। बीमारी की गिरफ्त में भी टेनिस का जुनून, बीमारी की गिरफ्त में भी टेनिस का जुनून, चेहरे पर मंडराती हंसी, दिल में हमेशा उसके सुकून, दिल में हमेशा रहता सुकून। कांता और बच्चों पर, ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन पर, पोते पोतों पर प्यार की दौलत उसने लुटाई। जिंदगी के उतार चढ़ाव में भी उसने बहुत मस्ती पाई। एक दिन जब भी मिलता हम लोग कुछ न कुछ इस तरह की बातें करते। सो हिज फिलोसॉफिकल व्यू अबाउट लाइफ I portrayed in these few lines. So I said when he was sick, you know, how are you doing? How's things are going? So he said, lot of has gone, little bit is left. I described that, बहुत गई थोड़ी बची, बहुत गई थोड़ी बची, अब किसका फिक्राना है। जो बीती अच्छी बीती, जो बीती अच्छी बीती, उसका शुक्राना है। थोड़ी जो बची है, थोड़ी जो बची है उसको टेनिस के खेल में, थोड़ी जो बची है उसको टेनिस के खेल में, परिवार के प्यार में और मित्रों के साथ बिताना है। जी रहा हूँ मस्ती से, अब क्या घबराना है। अब जी रहा हूँ मस्ती से, अब क्या घबराना है। क्या लाया था, क्या लाया था, क्या ले जाना है। जो कुछ यहाँ से लिया सब यहीं रह जाना है। यह तो मृत्युलोक है सुरेश, यह तो मृत्युलोक है सुरेश, सबको यहाँ से जाना है। चाहो तो भी रुक नहीं सकते, प्रकृति का नियम जबराना है, प्रकृति का नियम जबराना है। इसलिए अब किस बात का फिक्राना है। जो बीती अच्छी बीती, इसका शुक्राना है, इसका शुक्राना है। तो उसकी जो फिलॉसफी थी ज़िंदगी की, वो उसने जिस तरह से जी सुरिंदर ने, आई होप कि हम भी उसको श्रद्धांजलि, वी गिव इट टू हिम बाय अडॉप्टिंग हिज गुड क्वालिटीज इन आवर लाइफ, दैट वुड बी अ ट्रू श्रद्धांजलि। थैंक यू वेरी मच। हरि ओम।
If anyone else from the tennis team wants to say anything, or anybody else, can you give me a second? So Rohini ji is going to go first, and then if anybody wants to share any thoughts or has anything to say, please join us after that. Rohini ji, please.
Namaste everybody. Kanta ji, Bharat, Andrea, Amit, Lisa, Surinder's grandchildren, members of our Hindu Temple of Woodlands Senior Forum, and all of you gathered here today. My name is Rohini. My husband Venki and I have known Surinder since our Clear Lake days, and of course the connection was tennis. And today, because of that, I feel so honored that Vasu Rai Choti, who is the president of the Senior Forum of the Hindu Temple of Woodlands, requested me to convey the condolence on behalf of the Senior Forum. Vasuji and his wife Jenny were unable to be here today, and they're deeply sorry that they were not here in person to support you all through this bereavement. But they send this heartfelt note from Vasuji. So here is a tribute on behalf of the Senior Forum of the Hindu Temple of the Woodlands. We are gathered here today with a heavy heart to remember and mourn the loss of our dear friend, Surinder Mittal. But we should also celebrate that he was in our lives. We were blessed and honored to call him our very dear friend. But if you ask anyone in this community and everyone in this room, they will also tell you that Surinder was their dear friend. And we were all absolutely right. Surinder was dear to everyone because everyone was dear to him. He made each person feel that they were the most special person in the room. I doubt that there is anyone here who cannot recall being extended a hand of friendship by Surinder. People such as Surinder are the rarest of the rare. A person whose warmth, caring, and genuine spirit comes through so naturally and so completely. Surinder was not just a member of the Senior Forum. His values were key to its very foundation and spirit. Even as his health was failing, he continued to volunteer. He would help set up the chairs before our meetings, and he would make sure that he took them down afterwards. Whether he was having a tough day or an easy day, he always found within himself the strength to check on everybody's well-being and greeted each person with that wonderful smile. It was the smile of all smiles, I'm sure you all will agree, and it always came from the core of his heart, a smile that lit up the room. And Vasuji shares this with us. Jenny and I had the privilege of seeing Surinder around the 10th of July, just before we left for India for a family reunion. He was very weak and in pain at the time, so we planned it as a brief visit, perhaps a half hour. But by the time we left, nearly 3 hours had passed. Surinder simply would not let us leave earlier, much to everybody's concern that our visit was taking away from his much-needed food and rest. Looking back, I believe he sensed that we might not see him again, and he wanted to make the most of that visit. We are so deeply grateful that we had that time with him. One could go on about Surinder's goodness, grace, generosity, and so many other qualities that made him so very special, but then that would simply be stating the obvious, as all of you here who knew him so well. So we will let you remember the wonderful times you had with him and smile. Kanta, on behalf of the Senior Forum, please know that our members stand by you and hold your hand through this difficult time and beyond. This is our commitment to you. Bharat and Amit, we want you to know that your dad was deeply loved. You, your loving spouses, and his grandchildren meant the world to Surinder. He often spoke about how much his sons meant to him, and you've heard this before. And he may not even have told you, but he certainly told us very often and with great pride. To the entire Mittal family, please accept the Senior Forum's profound feeling of loss and heartfelt condolences. And that was from Vasuji. And personally, I'd like to say, I don't remember Surinder ever without that cheerful countenance and that wonderful smile that made me always smile wider and make me feel so much happier. So to paraphrase the famous words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, if even one life smiled more because you lived, you would have succeeded. So cheers to Surinderji for living a hugely successful life. Om Shanti. Namaste.
जे सुलगे जे सुलगे ते बुझ गए बुझे ते सुलगे नहीं. Those lamps that got lighted by others, they extinguished. And once extinguished, they didn't fire, they didn't rekindle. They did not rekindle. जे सुलगे ते बुझ गए बुझे ते सुलगे नहीं. रहीमन दाहे प्रेम के बुझी बुझी सुलगाई. रहीम कहते हैं कि प्रेम के दिए जो ऐसे होते हैं, प्रेम की आग जो ऐसी होती है कि बुझ बुझ के भी सुलगती रहती है. बस वही एक आग है. We all have experienced the love, the friendship. I call him my friend. My name is Sunil Shah. And ever since we met, we were on a two basis, just, no formalities. We were friends. So Rahim says that only one fire is such which rekindles itself after if it's extinguished. And that is the fire of love or friendship. A lot of you have talked about lots of great memories, so I will not have, I also have similar memories. I will not repeat those. I don't know, I was a bit late and Panditji might have sung this Ishavasya Upanishad Shloka. If not, I will repeat that here once. Yeah. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Hari Om. That is whole, and this is whole too. And the wholeness is such that even if the entire wholeness were removed from it, it would still remain whole. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha magridha kasya svidhanam. This universe is from the will of Ishwar, Aishwarya, Astitva. It's its own wish. Nothing ever has happened here that was not the wish of Astitva. And there is a specialty of this universe that one who desires none receives the most. Hari Om. Kanta asked me to sing a couple of lines of a devotional song that she liked. Just a couple of Mukhara, right? मत कर माया को अहंकार, मत कर माया काया का अभिमान, काया गार से कांची. मत कर माया का अभिमान, मत कर काया का अहंकार, काया गार से कांची. ओ काया गार से कांची, ओ काया गार से कांची के जैसे ओसरा मोती। झोंका पवन का लग जाए, झपका पवन का लग जाए, काया धूल हो जासी, काया तेरी धूल हो जासी।
Nidu. Come. On behalf of Mittal family, we are very grateful for all the support all of you provided us. Unbelievably, especially last 10 months were very difficult. We never even imagined that he will come down to this problem in his life, because there is no cancer in his family. When he was diagnosed, it was such a shock. Even he was not even ready to admit that these diagnosed are correct, And so were my boys. What Parveen said, that's the truth of my life, He always loved sports. First it was the hockey, then cricket, then tennis. He will do anything for tennis. He will leave me, even divorce me probably, that was also another possibility. And the second was his children. I never took priority over his passions, But Surinder was a great son for his parents. He had only one regret in his life. He could not forget that till the last day of his journey. When his mother passed away, we were not informed by his family from India, because those days phones were not very cheap, they were very expensive, and family was under the impression that Mataji will recover. But all of a sudden, by the time we received call from there that she's gone, Surinder was torn apart like anything. His boss called from the job that when are you coming back to work? And he yelled at her and said, I'm never coming back to work. Don't call me back, ever. And she understood his frustration and that said, it's okay, you take time as much as you need, and we understand, how you're feeling, what you're going through. 25 years back, we ended up going to Haridwar, took care of his mom's Shanti Puja, and Surinder was really, at peace. After that, he never mentioned that, he has some regrets. You guys won't believe the Ganga Jal we brought from Haridwar, the same Ganga Jal we are using today for his last journey. he always wanted a daughter. But God gave us finally two beautiful daughter-in-laws who are more than daughter for us. These children, personally, they put their life on the side for 10 months. My baby Sunny didn't go back to work since October. The day he was diagnosed, that was the last day he worked. And he is a MSK radiologist, and he said, Mom, I don't give a damn about work, Family comes first, and I need to make sure that we go to all the oncology appointments, all his radiation, anything and everything. And same thing, my first love, my Bharat. Till Saturday, he was under denial that Papa is not going to nowhere. Mama, you just watch. I have something special over here, and Papa will get well. You just see, I'm here now. I'm not going nowhere, Sunday morning, 8:21, he changed his mind. He said, no, I have to go. And I want to thank you, Lisa's parents. The best Kohinoor hero we have in our family. This girl, for last many nights, did not sleep. She was in bed with him on his side, day in, day out, wiping his face, changing his sheet, changing his kapde, socks, putting lotion on him, oil on him, ice pad, blankets, sheets. I mean, we were going crazy, dealing with Surinder's sickness, unbelievably. And our dearest Andrea, she is just magic. The way she talked to Surinder, Papa, just like a child, And they were thinking that Mama doesn't know anything. Oh, Mama, just don't worry. We will take care of him. You will just see, Mama. And our little Aman, cutest baby, blessings of our family. Always there for Surinder and for me. He prayed to Shivji. Lord knows how many letters he wrote to Shivji. I saved all his letters. Shivji, make my Dada well. Shivji, make my Dada well, and telling me, I'm doing meditation. Dadi, I'm doing meditation. Don't bother me, I'm doing meditation. And our first grandson, we call him Krishu, and his full name is Gavin Krishu Mittal, but our name is Krishu, we never call him Gavin. Smartest child, Dada's love. Dada trained him for same bad habits he had, tennis, basketball, all those, and I was sick and tired of listening these sports in my family all the time. Because I was the only one person in the family who was on the other side, single vote. All the girls, Lisa, Andrea, these little one, Aman, I don't understand their language when they talk. And I was feeling neglected always, And our dear Prahlad, we gave him that beautiful name, very meaningful, very, very close to our heart. Dada's very, very favorite. Dada, love you very much, Prahlad. Okay. I don't know how to repay back to our wonderful woodland community. All of you many times cooked tons of food for me, came over, spent hours after hours. Tripti even offered me, I can come and stay with you one time. Kantaji, I'm coming, I will spend a night with you. I said, no, Tripti, I'm fine, you don't need to, your own family needs you. Rashmi Gupta, same way, Kantaji, I can come and stay with you. I can stay overnight with you. Aruna Mahajan, from the day one, I can't tell you, she was frustrated over Surinder's sickness because Mahajan Sahib just passed away on December 24th. And she was, blaming him for taking Surinder away from us. That, he took his friend away from us. And all my other senior group friends, Jagan Alamji, I can bother him anytime, 24 hours a day. Even when he is in India, I want him now and now, means that now, And finally he learned that I can't say no to Kanta. Everybody, our heart, I know, is sinking today. Our family needs your prayer, your blessings. But my phone was ringing like crazy. And Lisa was looking at the phone. He said, Mama, 236 messages. I said, Lisa, that's okay. Let this phone go crazy. We are going crazy, so the phone has to do, its own job. Surinder was so easygoing person. No one in this room will believe his dramas he did in my life. He blew my car engine twice. Telling me, don't worry, you just see, and here you go, Bounced my checks many times at bank. He was keeping his paycheck in his pocket. Not depositing in the bank and under the impression there is enough money, just do it, go ahead and write checks to others and not depositing the money. Never went to bank, never looked into the account. There was an emergency I had to send to bank one day, that was my foolishness that I didn't ask my son to go. Bank called me at home. There is somebody asking for money from your account. I said, give it to him, he is my husband. So, that's the story. Our Mittal family is a crazy, unusual behavior, the dramas we do at home. But I'm very, very taken care very much, with my children. I know my friends are very worried, but kids are angels, I have a Saptrishi over here to take care of me. Piece by piece, they will be there. They are already very much concerned, but I'm telling you now that Mama is well taken care. Okay? You guys are not only one. I have 200 other my friends and family over here too. Love you all very much and thank you so much for coming over. God bless all of you too.
Again, I want to thank everyone who showed up. This is such an amazing turnout. I thought I did enough of this for the last few days, but I guess it's going to start again. Just like Mama has a big community, you know, of support. I kind of have the same thing for me too. I have a lot of friends. My brother's a huge support. My wife is absolutely amazing. My kids, my family, all my friends. I mean, I don't know how many calls I got. Just people hearing. We didn't even tell anyone really. People just hearing about what happened with my dad, and couldn't even really talk on the phone until yesterday. But there really aren't. I'm going to kind of take a different approach. I'm going to kind of talk about what he meant for me, which, you know, my papa, I mean, there really aren't words big enough to kind of describe who he was for me, what he meant to me. I mean, he was more than a father. He was my first best friend. He was my mentor. He was always in my corner. He loved me unconditionally. I mean, no matter what stage of life I was in, he just understood me. He evolved with me. He always just, you know, rooted for me, never judged me, and it was just amazing. I mean, I want to kind of echo all the sentiments that you guys said. I mean, he's caring, compassionate, charismatic, endearing, loyal. We all know that. And he was sometimes stubborn. I mean, just like some of y'all kind of expressed, you know, in certain ways. But it was always coming from a place of love and what he believed was always best for us, right? So anyone he ever met, and this was the biggest thing for me for the messages that I got. No matter who it was, no matter what status, no matter what they did for a living, I mean, he treated them like he just knew them, you know, just, you know, everyone just always felt so welcome, so respected, so treated with just warmth and compassion. He had a look about him that when he would talk to you, just kind of like I think somebody said, it just felt like he was just talking to you, you know, and he had this light in his eyes and this incredible smile. I mean, you know, it's just, I mean, I have a lot of the regrets that Nidhi kind of talked about too, where, you know, we talked every day. Every time I had an ER shift, he would call me before my shift, after my shift. If Prahlad had a Special Olympics event or horseback riding, how did it go? You know, what did he learn today? And Gavin, I mean, just anything, tennis, basketball, you know, if something happened on TV, he would call and say, "What did I tell you?" You know, and it wasn't an arrogant thing. It was like he was so proud, like, you know, we talked about this. You see what happened? I told you it was going to happen. Just was so excited. So, and just like a lot of y'all said, I mean, he was an amazing storyteller. And it was, you know, I know a lot of emphasis was placed on sports, but, you know, for me, I mean, he talked to me about a lot of other stuff, you know, stories about his life, his family, growing up, India, work. I mean, one of my favorite times with him was when I would go to work with him, and just, I felt such a sense of pride when I would just see him at work. This was kind of when I was in college, when I was in medical school, just, you know, getting to eat lunch with him and seeing how many people really loved him, really cared for him. And these are the things I'm going to miss most. I mean, just picking up the phone, telling him how my day went, asking him how he's doing, letting him know that, you know, here recently, like, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out together, you know? But he was very, you know, content. He was just like, you know, let it go. You know, I'm okay. I lived a full life. I don't want to be just here just to be here. I want to be here when I can be with all of y'all. And if I can't do that, there's no point, you know? Because he never wanted to be a burden on any of us. I mean, that was like a huge thing for him. It's just, I never want to be a burden. You guys have your life. that's really important. You have kids, you have other things that you have to take care of, and you always made that such a thing. And I mean, I'm gonna work on being the father that he was for me. I mean, he always told me how proud he was, but there's still so much I feel like I can learn from him. I'm gonna continue being the husband and the brother that he wanted me to be, that I want to be, in the son too. I want to carry his wisdom forward. He really taught me that time is short. I mean, I'm 48 now. I'm saying 48 and a half, but it just didn't feel like it's enough time. No matter how much we talked, how much time we spent together, it just didn't feel like enough. It really matters. Spending time with the ones you love, really showing up for those people, so that way they know that you're there. All of y'all have done that, obviously, by being here. Papa, I want to thank you for everything, for always believing in me, for having my back. Thank you for teaching me how to love. You'll never be forgotten. Please keep guiding us. Keep putting your wisdom into us, and we love you more than anything. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming. This day came too short for me personally, but it'll be okay. We know he's resting. We know he's looking over us, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you again for everybody that came to support, and like I touched at the beginning, it means the most to us to see that this room is full. We'd like to, at the end, now that everybody's spoken, to come see Dada one last time, and then we'll take him and he will be cremated. So thank you all again, and for everybody. Please, if possible, grab a pedal and put it on his feet.
She is. I mean, yeah.